The Roman Forum buzzes with life, a vibrant tapestry of citizens immersed in their daily routines under the bright Sunday. Amidst the throng, Nero stands tall, a youthful figure radiating ambition as he prepares to address the eager masses. His voice rings out with passion, each word carefully chosen to ignite the hopes and dreams of his audience. With grand gestures, he paints a vivid picture of Rome's future, promising an era of unparalleled prosperity and glory. The crowd is captivated, drawn in by his undeniable charisma and the seductive allure of his vision. Yet, a subtle flicker of arrogance dances in his eyes, betraying the true depths of his ambition hidden beneath the veneer of sincerity. Inside Nero's palace, a lavish banquet unfolds, tables laden with delicacies, the air heavy with wine and incense. Sycophants surround him, their eyes fixed on Nero, hanging on his every word with rapt attention. Nero dramatically recites his poetry, his gestures wild and theatrical, his artistic vanity on full, unbridled display. Among the assembled guests, adversaries exchange furtive, worried glances, their unease growing with each passing moment. The advisors' faces are etched with concern, a stark contrast to the unrestrained revelry around them, hinting at impending doom. Torches flicker, casting long, dancing shadows across the opulent walls of Nero's private chambers. Priceless artifacts hint at the immense power concentrated within these claustrophobic walls. Nero, handsome yet cruel, paces restlessly, a caged tiger contemplating his next move. Agrippina stands before him, regal and formidable, her unwavering gaze a challenge to his authority. Their power struggle is palpable, an unseen voice observes, as the air crackles with unspoken accusations and suppressed rage. Black waves crash against the shore, their roar a mournful dirge under the cloak of night. Flickering torches cast long, dancing shadows, their light revealing Agrippina's pale face. Surrounded by Nero's soldiers, Agrippina faces her fate, their eyes hard and devoid of pity. The air hangs thick with the scent of salt and the bitter tang of impending death. Clashing steel and desperate cries shatter the night as Agrippina falls, a victim of Nero's ruthless ambition. Inside the Roman Senate, sunlight streams through high windows, casting long shadows across the faces of the senators. Dust motes dance in the air, illuminated by the sun's rays, as senators huddle in hushed discussions. Togas drape solemn figures, their faces etched with worry as they grapple with unspoken anxieties. A palpable tension fills the chamber, betraying the deep unease surrounding Nero's increasingly unbearable tyranny. Whispers of dissent snake through the Senate, like venom, hinting at the political instability simmering beneath the surface of Roman order. Inside Nero's opulent palace, torchlight casts eerie shadows, as Nero, handsome yet cruel, raises a goblet in a mocking toast. Britannicus, pale and sickly, accepts the offered wine, sealing his fate with a single swallow. A horrifying gasp shatters the hall's stillness as Britannicus clutches his throat, collapsing in agonizing convulsions. Nero watches impassively, goblet still in hand, as fear grips the courtiers witnessing Britannicus's final moments. Under the cloak of night, the great fire of Rome explodes into existence, a terrifying canvas of angry, flickering light consuming the sky. Flames dance with manic energy, transforming grand structures into infernos, their silhouettes twisting against the fiery backdrop. Long, grotesque shadows stretch and writhe across the ancient cobblestone streets, mirroring the city's agony. The very air vibrates with unbearable heat, a tangible manifestation of the city's destruction. A cacophony of screams pierces the night, a chilling symphony of panic and despair rising from the terrified populace. Rome, once a beacon of civilization, is now a terrifying spectacle of destruction, its legacy burning into the annals of history. Within Nero's opulent palace, distant flames paint the night sky in fiery hues. Nero watches the inferno, his face an inscrutable mask, betraying no hint of emotion. A palpable tension fills the air as hushed whispers weave through the palace halls. Accusations of Nero's complicity in the devastating fire begin to surface, casting a shadow over his reign. Against the backdrop of a smoke-filled sky, the skeletal remains of Rome stand as a haunting testament to destruction. Roman citizens, faces smudged with soot, wander through the wasteland, their eyes reflecting grief and simmering anger. A pall of ash and despair hangs heavy over the once proud city. From a distance, a cloaked and hooded Nero observes the devastation. His presence, a silent omen. A calculating glint hardens his gaze as he surveys the scene, the gears of blame turning in his mind. He stands as a solitary figure against the ravaged landscape, the architect of a tragedy seeking a scapegoat. Torches flicker, their light painting the damp stone walls of the Roman dungeon with dancing shadows. Weary Christians huddle together, their faces etched with exhaustion and fear, falsely accused of a terrible crime. Despite the dire circumstances, a quiet strength emanates from them, an inner light shining in the darkness. Some clasp their hands in prayer, their lips moving silently, seeking solace in their faith. Others offer words of comfort, their voices hushed but firm, a beacon of hope in the despair. The dungeon air is thick with the scent of damp stone and unwavering belief. Under the harsh glare of the sun, the Roman arena is a cauldron of noise, the crowd a roaring beast demanding blood. Christians meet their brutal end in the arena's blood-soaked sands, their suffering a spectacle for the masses. High above the carnage, Nero observes from his imperial box, his face an impassive mask. A flicker of amusement plays across Nero's lips as he watches the executions unfold. His cruel gaze sweeps over the scene, taking in every agonizing detail with cold detachment. In that moment, Nero embodies the chilling cruelty of a tyrant, his power absolute and merciless. Within Nero's palace, opulent fabrics mask the grim reality of charred structures, a stark contrast of decadence and destruction. Nero, bejeweled and plump, reclines on a silk divan, a lyre resting in his grasp amidst the chaos. Torches cast eerie, dancing shadows across the faces of his guests, senators in togas, courtesans dripping in gold, all feasting lavishly. Beyond the palace walls, Rome burns, a fiery spectacle unseen by those reveling in Nero's court. The air is thick with the aroma of roasted meats and expensive perfumes, a feeble attempt to mask the stench of smoke and death encroaching from the burning city. Nero strums a discordant chord on his lyre, oblivious to the simmering discontent brewing in the eyes of his captive audience. Within the hallowed halls of the Roman Senate, solemn faces gather, a storm of discontent brewing beneath the surface. Senators in draped togas engage in hushed whispers, their voices weaving a tapestry of intrigue and conspiracy. The air hangs heavy with unspoken grievances, each senator a vessel of mounting resentment against Nero. Shadows stretch and writhe across the cold marble floor, mirroring the clandestine plotting taking root in the Senate's heart. A palpable sense of impending upheaval fills the chamber, the senators poised on the brink of defiance. Torches flicker within Nero's palace, casting long, dancing shadows across its opulent halls. Heavy with the scent of incense and creeping fear, Nero paces restlessly, his eyes darting nervously from one shadowed corner to another, as if hunted by unseen forces. He clutches a golden goblet, his knuckles white with tension, a symbol of power twisted into a weapon of defense. Paranoia is etched deeply into his face, each line a testament to the isolation of absolute power. He stops abruptly, listening intently, his solitude amplifying the imagined threats lurking within the very walls of his palace. Across the vast Roman countryside, Nero flees on horseback, his face smeared with dirt and desperation. The pounding hooves of his pursuers grow louder, echoing across the fields, harbingers of doom. He casts a frantic glance over his shoulder, a flicker of raw fear betraying the emperor's facade. The stark realization hits him with the force of a physical blow. His iron grip on power is slipping away. The endless horizon mirrors the boundless uncertainty that now stretches before the fallen emperor. Under a somber, gray sky, a desolate villa stands as a monument to ruin. Nero, the fallen emperor, his face a mask of despair, prepares for his final act. The heavy air vibrates with the echoes of his past tyranny and the devastation he unleashed upon Rome. A final, haunting lament escapes his lips. What an artist dies in me.